This Christmas, spend the holidays with your family alongside the characters of Nathan and Buddy as they navigate an existential journey of their own in a Cognac at the Indy 500. The directorial debut of Alex Helmer, A Cognac at the Indy 500, is an award-winning short film that tells a tale of a young boy determined to solve the riddle of death who approaches his decaying granddad for answers. Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Banark. I'm with the League of Cinepolis Productions here, and I'm also on Instagram at Tyler Banark Reviews Movies. And today I'm joined by the director Alex Helmer and stars Jack Wielar and Ron Litman. I'm hoping I pronounced those names correctly. Of course, the film is available on YouTube for 2 weeks, starting on December 22nd. All right, so Alex, Jack, Ron, again, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to do this. I'm really excited to learn more about this film. So anyways, let's get right into it. So Alex, I'm gonna start with you. Where did you originally get the idea to make this film, to write and direct Cognac at the Indy 500?
Obviously it goes back so long. I don't want to say back when I was like 4 years old, I went to the movie theater for the first time. No, that's for my job interviews. Obviously, this is my first film, and I knew I wanted to make my first film something that was emblematic of my own style as an artist, as well as something that was very personal to me, a story and characters that I felt I could relate to people with and grab people and make them learn and make them kind of feel and everything like that. And this film is based on various personal and odysseys, and so I knew I kind of wanted to make it, I guess unconsciously, even when I didn't know I was going to. So we shot it last year, and it's although a year and a half ago, it feels like such a long time ago, but I'm still immensely proud of the work myself and my team did, especially these two men to the right of me.
For as long as we know each other, we've gotten a great taste of each other's taste in film. I've always known that you always had a very particular one. I remember hearing you saying earlier that you're a big single location film guy, and I know that you guys were able to get to the Woodrow Wilson House in Washington D.C. to be the filming location for this. And so my question about that is, when it came to location scouting, what made Woodrow Wilson House stand out amongst all the other places that you looked at?
There's nowhere else like it, both in D.C. as well as I'm convinced the rest of the world. It's so unique. The various feelings that it gives off from room to room, I'm almost I just wish we could get more time in there, honestly, to shoot there, because it is a dream. Once you step in from a filmmaker's point of view, to shoot in a location like that, because it's a character in and of itself, and it does a lot of the work for us, right? Because we're able to kind of tell a story without specifically saying it, without we can show it to you. Any chance a filmmaker can get to not say as much is always a win in my book, and we were lucky to get it. I'm not sure anybody from here on in, if they're able to shoot there, I'm not able to get that same honor. We were tremendously lucky.
I've heard a lot of times in the past, when people shoot movies and TV shows and music videos, and they're in a public setting like the Woodrow Wilson House, sometimes the place will be open while you guys are shooting it. So when you guys shot at the Woodrow Wilson House, was it open, or was it closed to the public just for you guys?
No. Especially one conversation about the entire film. Sound alone, I'm not dealing with that shit. Sorry for that.
I know you're a big fan of a lot of single location films, 12 Angry Men and My Dinner with Andre, but were there any other single location films that kind of inspired for you to make a Cognac at the Indy 500?
Yeah, I think My Dinner with Andre is a big one. Obviously, that film it'll change kind of the way you think. I highly encourage you guys to see it if you haven't already, those in the audience. It's nothing. There's nothing like it, and it's just obviously I think a reason I wanted to make this film a big one is because of the power of conversation. And I think, two people with different viewpoints, I think that's such a powerful, the fact that we're able to do that is so important. And I think this film is so important in that sense. And I can't think of anything else on the top of my head, but My Dinner with Andre sums it up perfectly.
So how long was, the process of making this film? What were some experiences that you took away from it? What were some things that happened on set that I would guess let's say were little happy accidents?
I mean, it was 2 12-hour days. It felt like 5 12-hour days, especially for Ron, I think. So it wasn't, that sounds long, but really in the reality of making a film, it's not too long at all. And so it meant an extensive rehearsal process, and I was very lucky that these two men were very kind of willing to do that. And so our rehearsal process was very extensive for months on end. I think every movie is a happy accident in some way, right? Nothing is how it seems. Especially when you read enough scripts and then see the movie, nothing's exactly how it seems. Especially with Jack and Ron, they're the characters at a certain point are theirs, and they run with it, not me. And so, yeah.
There were quite a few like really cool technical moments like in the film that I really appreciated a lot. A couple in particular was one when towards the beginning there's a moment where Nathan steps out to take a phone call, and like the camera moves on towards Buddy, and we hear him cough a little bit, and like the background around him just cuts to black, and all we just see is him. Mm-hmm. And so the first part of that, like how we're able to like pull that off, and like what went into it, because I feel like that scene is like that moment in particular is like the first time we see like how really bad Buddy's condition is.
Well, it's just experiencing the feelings. Alex has written the thing very tightly, and we were really prepared. It was just relaxing into it. Those moments become real. You don't have to push it. You don't have to reach for it. They were just there, being in that bed, looking around the environment. It was really quite easy to find those moments. Let them happen, not make them happen. Let them happen.
Obviously, and I hate this phrase. I hate it so much, but so people involved in the industry, whether it's a director, etc., say, we'll find it in the edit. I just hate that. I feel like it's so disrespectful. I hate it. I hate it. And so, but some of it is in the editing, but also Ron mentioned performance. A lot of it is incredibly performance based. I think somebody else who saw the film mentioned that I don't cut away too much, and especially in a film like this where it's two characters, I don't like cutting away. So much is performance based, and yeah, sure, there's editing, but it is all these two guys, and it's all kind of what happens on the set with a one location film and in a film like this. And the edit, obviously we wanted to kind of get more into their minds, do things that kind of we couldn't do on set. But really it was these two that carried the load, so that could, we could eventually get to the final product.
So Ron, Jack, shifting over to you guys. So for both of you, what was it like working with Alex, and how are you able to work with him compared to like previous other directors that you've worked with in the past?
I think Alex was an excellent director. I mean, I definitely haven't had as much experience with a variety of directors as I think Ron probably has, but I mean, I think that like Alex was deliberate with like the things he wanted, and I think that's what we got in the end with the final product. And yeah, I think everything worked really well between us all on set, I think, and there were some really good learning moments.
Well, we'd been communicating before I saw Alex for the first time, and I got the script and I go, man, this is really a good script. This guy's not messing around here. And then we had our first Zoom, and I'm saying, who the fuck is this kid? Is this the guy's son? What? What?
This is true.
And I'm going, no way, this kid is going to do this film? And this kid did the film. I'm telling you, I had to like go, okay, let's rock and roll here, Alex. I'm your man, let's go. Take me where you want to go. But at first it was, who the fuck is this kid?
So when you're preparing for this role, like, was there anything that any advice that Alex gave you on as terms like how to approach Nathan, like how to capture that mindset that this young boy has about to face what possibly could be the last moment he has with his grandfather?
Yeah, so with Nathan's character, he's very prideful at the beginning, and he doesn't really want to let a lot of things show, and he thinks that he knows better, and he blatantly states that. And so I guess Alex definitely helped me with that. I mean, I'm not like, me personally, I'm kind of someone who's quick to realize if I'm wrong about something, or like I feel like I'm a pretty open-minded person when it comes to things. But at the beginning of the film, Nathan's character is very like, I'm pretty sure I have a line. It's like, no, you don't understand, and it's very like he's very persistent and stubborn in his thoughts. So Alex definitely did help me find that like sort of character at the beginning. And also with I think we definitely discussed this. There's a lot of subtext in Nathan's character because he's very closed off at the beginning. So a lot of the things that are really important to his character aren't directly stated or said to him. Towards the beginning, Buddy's character, and actually throughout most of the film, to be honest, Buddy does a fair amount of the talking, and so there's a lot of things left unsaid about Nathan's character, but we really built upon that.
We had a really, really great relationship. We worked on this so that when we came in there, we were just ready to roll. Constantly, he was just in command the entire time, and it was so easy to trust him and go, okay, I don't have to think about how anything looks. Do you like what I'm doing? Yes, I do. Okay, let's move on. It was really easy to do that with him.
You've had a seasoned career, and you've taken on many roles. And I'm sure like a lot that you really held on to. But out of all the roles that you've taken on, how would you say Buddy fares up compared to everyone else you've played?
Well, as an actor, there's a flux in how much this character is you. Although I think all the characters are me. Whatever I'm playing, well, shit, that's me. I mean, that's the way I feel. That's the way it happens, my acting process. But this is, you can't, this is not a reach for me. I'm kind of his age, Buddy's age. I'm not dying yet. But, it was just very easy. And plus to see my father, who was, pretty much Buddy's age when he died. Not, I guess about 20 years ago, 25 years. But anyway, there was a whole lot of stuff that made it very, very easy for me, because it's very close to me. I will have a grandson come and say, Ron, why have you been such a shithead your whole life, while I'm lying in my deathbed.
We're here to talk about, that you got, you've been working on this film, since June of last year, and you're into the festival cycle right now, and that you also just worked on your second film coming up here. So would you mind touching up on a little bit and what's next?
I just finished up my second film recently this fall. We wrote it back in February, so it was a huge kind of pre-production process, especially shooting in LA, which is where I'm right now. And it's a horror film. I don't want to say too much about it. It's really, really fun, really kind of challenging in different ways, but also, like I mentioned, I carried a lot on from COGNAC into this film, and I'm very sure I will going into the future or whatever project I work on. I don't want to say too much right now, but it's in post, and I can't wait to see people see it. But for now, it's all about celebrating this movie. And the work of these gentlemen and everyone who is in here right now, or DP Spencer, who's amazing. I'm still writing all the time. I don't want to give too much away. I told the story sometime else, but I was on the set of my last film, Old Man, and my AD Brendan, he asked me, how are you doing? And I looked up to him and I said, I want to make a comedy. And so take with that as you will.
All right. Ron, Jack, what about you guys? Do you have anything, any other big projects that you're working on right now?
I just finished this video that will be on my YouTube page, which is DC Trash. It's called Gunsmoke and Bullshit, the real history of the United States is told by Davy Crockett. So that will be about a 13-minute piece. It's part one of a 4-part series that will eventually be up. But this will be on my DC Trash YouTube page.
Yeah, no big at the moment, no film projects really. With my high school theater, we have a pretty decently sized program there. We do a lot of shows every year. So just in a couple months, we're going to be doing Cabaret.
Okay.
And yeah, everyone's really excited for that. It's a really great, really that's a good musical, and I'll be playing the MC in that. So
wow,
that'll be really fun.
So my last question for you guys is, and this is for all three of you. So it is, why why should people check out Cognac at the Indy 500 more than any other, film TV show they should check out this holiday season?
Yeah, I think I can answer first. You mentioned holiday season. This film, we released it, and I wanted to release it right before Christmas for a reason, because I wanted to ruin your Christmas. The film is, obviously thematically it fits with the holiday, and obviously, it raises questions that are extra important and extra kind of in people's minds, I feel like, during this time of year. And I think it's a great watch, even though we don't have lights and we don't have a tree and all of that. It's just a wonderful watch kind of around this time of year, and just more than that as well. Just adding on top of that, it's just a great film overall. And you can learn to appreciate kind of artists who kind of aren't in the mainstream, like me and Jack. We're kind of trying to break out, and Ron, who's kind of been on the scene in DC for a long time. So I definitely check it out. If you have 23 minutes to spare, which I'm sure you all do. All of us kind of lie about our availability all the time. So and I would really appreciate if you all could. It would mean a lot. So thank you so much again, and thank you, Tyler, for having us.
It's a simple story. It's a real story that we all go through, that we all feel, have emotions about, that we're all going to go through at one time or another, for sure. Not enough explosions, though, Alex. There weren't enough.
I knew I was missing something.
And the car chase. I mean,
Yeah, you should absolutely check this movie out. It's it raises really good questions that we all think about, but it just brings them up in a really great, kind of like interesting but real way, and it gets you feeling, it gets you thinking too. It's just got a lot of really great layered things going on in it, and it's amazing. So yeah, check it out for sure.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much again for your time, and congratulations on all the success that you guys have had so far and for making such a wonderful film. I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of you, and I wish you all the best.